The jungler. Nah, I'm just kidding. The support. Hey, what's up guys? Double J here. Today I wanted to talk about who you should blame for losing all your Smite games. First off, it's probably your fault. You probably lost the game and you didn't even realize it. Look at this picture and tell me this doesn't perfectly describe how everyone feels when they play a MOBA. We all have games with that one guy, just that one, with that one guy or two guys that go like 0-8 and you're just like, how does this happen? They are so useless, they're losing us the whole game. When in reality, if you're doing well in your own role, you can probably do something to help your teammates out. Everybody loves to blame the jungler and the support for them fucking up. Most of the time, the jungler can't do much, and it's really annoying, because if a lane loses, and they start invading your buffs as a jungler, that feels horrible. You can't really do anything about that, especially if like the solo laner feeding or dual lanes feeding, they lose all their buffs, because the first thing they turn to is you. They're like, how could you not get our buffs? It's like, yeah, there's 4 people at that red buff and all of them are 2 levels over me. Not really my fault, but you're gonna make it my fault, aren't you? So in that scenario, everybody turns to the jungler. It's like, it's the jungler's fault, but in reality, it's the people who lost lane and got out pressured. Then people go to blame the support, because usually they just are under leveled just from being support. And they're like, wow, how have you died this many times and whatever. But usually when you die as a guardian, you usually get a carry a kill to die, so it's actually worth it. But the stats don't represent that, so they're like, support, fuck you, little bitch. My favorite part too is when people like bitch at somebody, be like, it's your fault, and you're the target. You're like, everybody on the team's like, it's your fault, we're losing, blah. And everybody's like, oh my god, everybody's so mean. Mute them. There's a mute button. It makes the game so much more peaceful. Use the mute button. If they say, I literally give a limit. If they say 3 stupid things that doesn't help the team or are just blaming somebody or BM or whatever toxic, muted. They have nothing to say that will help the team. Don't care. Don't give a fuck what they're saying. They're usually bad. So use the mute button, please. It's there for a reason. Also, by the way, the mute button doesn't block pings for some reason. Thank you, Hi-Res. Please, when I mute somebody, don't let them be able to ping the map. I hate that. Thank you. Also, can we get the lobby chat working too? That'd be really nice. But hey, it works every time according to Hi-Res, even though it doesn't every single time I play. But hey, good lobby chat. Do you have to put in a whole lot more work to do it? Oh yeah, you do. Playing Smite is kind of like being the kindergartner teacher. You're like, oh, little Billy, stop eating that glue. Oh, ADC, stop running into your opponent and trying to fight them when they have 4 levels on you. Depending on what role you have, it can be easier to control the game, and other roles, like support, not so much. Support is just like babysitting simulator, the whole, I don't know why anybody likes that role. I hate, it's awful. Support is gonna be the hardest role to carry in. Then you go to solo lane. Solo lane is kind of in the area of support, but not as much. Solo lane just doesn't rotate as much. You gotta get that farm in that lane. But if you're smashing the enemy solo laner, start proxying waves and then start rotating off that proxy. Go to Gold Fury, go to mid lane, fuck around in their jungle, do anything you can to disrupt the enemy team from just destroying your team. Mid lane has great control over the game. They can gank solo lane, they can gank duo lane, they can go invade jungle, they can get lots of farm, get really over leveled if you're smart. It is your job as mid lane to look at your team and go, they're eating mud. All right, it's time for my team to start putting down the paint chips and gank that lane. But gank lane's smart. Do it when you're in mid game, where you're pretty farmed, you have a numbers advantage, and you have a power spike. Don't go in without ult or anything and then just run in and die. That is the worst case scenario. You just made their lane even worse and you got behind. Jungler has a similar job as the mid laner. You realize, oh god, dual lane's 0-14 already? You probably should have done something sooner to stop that from happening. Early kills are important, but they can be easily countered if you have a team that's paying attention. If you get ahead as a jungler, I cannot stress this enough, please counter jungle, please. Just anytime your buffs come up, that means their buffs are coming up. So watch your timers, sit in their jungle, be annoying, try to kill them. If not, take all their buffs, try to get their jungler behind. Then it kind of balances out. All right, our ADC sucks balls, but hey, their jungler is starting to suck balls, so it's kind of evening out, the equal amount of suck. And gank lanes that you think are gonna have trouble. Once you gank that lane, gank it with the power curve, have your ult up, gank the lane, win that gank, and then type to your team, okay, this is your chance to come back. Stop playing like brain dead glue eaters, farm up and wait for me to gank again. That's all you gotta do. Bam, that lane should be under control now. Should, unless they don't listen, which very well could happen because it's Smite, people don't like to listen. If you're ADC, your job is to farm, protect Gold Fury, and show up to late game team fights and pop off. That is your job. Lots of farming, a lot of farming. If you can solo the enemy ADC, that's great. That's really good. But if you can't, it's okay too, as long as you don't feed. Just kind of play around, wait for your time to shine. I cannot stress that enough. If you don't have a winning matchup, don't go balls deep and try to be like, I'm the best, and then trade them. Relax, wait for a gank, get your farm online, get a power curve, then go in. The game isn't hard. People make it hard. So who can you actually blame for losing the game? Is it the person that goes 0-8? Yeah, you can blame them. I blame them a lot. I always say, oh my God, my team's feeding their brains out. It feels really, really bad to play well and still lose the game because of your team. But if you think you're playing well, but somebody's really going out there and feeding, you can probably do things to stop that from happening. So it is technically still your fault. It hurts to admit it, it really does. I'm terrible at it. I need to work on that a lot. The biggest thing is trying to adapt to your team and not letting your team adapt to you, if that makes sense. You can control what you do and you can't really control what your teammates do. So play around them instead of trying to make them play around you the best you can. And if something doesn't work, you gank a lane, doesn't work once, okay? Try it again. Gank a lane, doesn't work again. That should be a clear sign to you. That lane is, I'm not touching that lane again. I'm going somewhere else on the map that we can actually win to try to balance it out. So if you're in this position, if you're doing well in a game and you're realizing some lanes are struggling, be the team leader. Type to them. Don't be a dick about it because they won't listen. Nobody listens to people that are just barking orders at people. Be like, hey, you should try this. You should wait for me to gank instead of, oh my God, you are the worst player I've ever seen in this generation. Spoil my casual conquest game. So just try to take charge. And if that person doesn't listen to you, kind of try to make amends with everybody else on the team, and then hopefully he'll just kind of follow suit, right? If everybody's doing an objective, he'll probably come along to do it. Try to band together best you can. I mean, it's Smite, so you hate everyone. I get it. I hate everyone, but just attempt to. Critical thinking skills are hard to come by these days, so, or you can just blame the lag for losing. That's what I do too. I like that one. That one's good. We got merch now, boys. You know what that means. I'm selling out. Please buy the merch. There's gonna be like a banner thing down below you can check out. There's a link down below. Just fucking click on the merch, peep it, a little bit of peep, be like, God damn, that's clean. Those threads, ooh, I'd be looking so good in those threads. You'd be the coolest kid in school, and it helps support me a lot. So if you want to support me, want some cool threads in the process, please check out the merch. Follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, Instagram, all that stuff to keep updated on what I do. Like the video, comment, just just smash all the buttons. Just look at all the buttons and push them. I don't even know what some of them do sometimes. Just push all the buttons, I think. That's what it comes down to if you want to support somebody. That's gonna be it for me today. Thank you all for watching. Tell me what I should rant about next time. See you guys next time, peace.